Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. I think it's time to cancel this 90 Day Fiancé spin-off for good. This once popular 90 Day Fiancé spin-off has gone from must-watch TV to a franchise killer, and honestly, I think it's time we pulled the plug. 90 Day Fiancé Season 1 debuted in 2014, following couples racing the K1 visa clock. Its popularity led to spin-offs like Before the 90 Days, Happily Ever After the Other Way, and more, thus creating a sprawling reality franchise. This once popular 90 Day Fiancé spin-off has gone from must-watch TV to a franchise killer, and honestly, I think it's time we pulled the plug. 90 Day Fiancé Season 1 debuted in 2014, following couples racing the K1 visa clock. Its popularity led to spin-offs like Before the 90 Days, Happily Ever After the Other Way, and more, thus creating a sprawling reality franchise. It's true what they say, too much of anything can wear thin. I used to binge 90 Day Fiancé and its spin-offs regularly, hooked on the drama and wild love stories. But after so many spin-offs and familiar faces, the excitement started to fade. It feels like I've seen the same story play out over and over. Lately, I've found myself zoning out while watching a 90 Day Fiancé spin-off. The spark that once made the TLC reality show addictive is fading fast. The drama feels repetitive, and storylines drag on longer than they should. One particular spin-off might be the last straw. I'm seriously considering walking away from the entire 90 Day Fiancé franchise for good. The same old 90 Day Fiancé couples are wearing thin. I've watched these familiar faces go through the same tired drama for years. The breakups, make-ups, and fake-outs don't surprise me anymore. I miss when the show felt real and unpredictable. Without new perspectives, it's hard for me to stay invested. The excitement that first hooked me just isn't there now. Meanwhile, The Other Way feels like a reset. I actually look forward to The Other Way because it flips the script. Watching Americans adjust to life abroad is a real challenge, and I love seeing how they adapt. The new couples don't know what's coming, which keeps me curious. Their journeys feel fresh, emotional, and way more engaging than the usual loop. The best part of reality TV for me is being surprised, and I don't get that from the same old cast on Happily Ever After the Other Way brings real change and stories I haven't seen 100 times. I want drama, but I also want honesty and something that actually feels new. That's what keeps me watching. The cast often end up spoiling their own storylines on social media, even if they don't mean to. I saw Jasmine post about having her baby, Matilda, with Matt Brownie's back in April 2025. But on Happily Ever After Season 9, she's not even pregnant yet. It feels strange watching her still act like she wants Gino, when in real life, she's clearly moved on and is enjoying life in Florida with Matt and their baby. Jasmine was the one who first spilled the tea about Gino dating someone named Natalie. She shared it in an Instagram story, saying they had already broken up. Jasmine also claimed he went on to date 2 Brazilian women. I even remember hearing about Gino's relationship with Kelly Wagner, which supposedly ended after he got exposed for messaging other women and body-shaming her. It made me wonder why the show keeps dragging out these already dead storylines. Now, seeing how Gino and Natalie's relationship plays out on TV feels totally out of touch. Jasmine's jealousy and even her physical fight with Natalie seem pointless when we already know it didn't go anywhere. I read Gino has moved on from Kelly, too, and is filming again for 90 Day Fiancé. His storyline with Natalie feels tired and outdated to me. I watched Elizabeth and Andre talk about leaving Florida to move to his hometown in Moldova with their kids, Eleanor and Winston. Elizabeth seemed serious about it, even though her family wasn't supportive. By episode 4, they flew out to Moldova. It felt like she was hoping the visit would help her make up her mind. I watched when Andrei threw that big party in Moldova to announce their move. Elizabeth looked so uncomfortable. She had been complaining about sharing a bathroom with his parents and the kids. She even admitted she couldn't understand Romanian and had no idea what Andrei was saying during his speech, and it felt awkward to watch. I've followed Elizabeth and Andrei for years, so I was never convinced they'd moved to Moldova on 90 Day Fiancé. U.S. Sun reports that they built a huge 3,670 square foot home in Zephyrhills, Florida, back in 2022 for nearly $400,000 and are still living there. Honestly, it reminded me of Lauren and Alexei's storyline since we all knew they weren't leaving either. The 90 Day Fiancé universe has ballooned into one of the most sprawling reality TV franchises in modern television. What began as a curious exploration of love across borders, often messy, heartfelt, and occasionally genuine, has exploded into a factory-style conveyor belt of spin-offs. Some have been excellent, adding necessary layers to the original concept. Others have overstayed their welcome. And then there's the spin-off that, at this point, feels like it's hanging on by a thread simply because no one at TLC knows how to pull the plug. It's time to cancel 90 Day Fiancé, the single life for good. When the series first aired, there was excitement. The idea of watching former cast members, many of them fan favorites or spectacular disasters, re-enter the dating world promised new drama mixed with a hopeful restart. The earlier seasons delivered something fresh: redemption arcs, awkward blind dates, midlife reinventions. But somewhere along the way, the magic evaporated. Now it feels like a synthetic, repetitive exercise in reusing expired storylines. Below is exactly why the single life may have reached its point of no return. 1. These storylines aren't evolving, their reruns. The biggest weakness of the single life is fatigue. The franchise has historically thrived when it showcased real stakes, moves across oceans, entire lives uprooted, families torn or bound together. But here, we're presented with recycled drama from people who have already had multiple seasons to tell their story. Fans have sat through the same emotional arcs over and over. Someone's finally ready to date again. Someone's kids are against it. Someone immediately makes terrible choices. Then they repeat those choices with a different person the following season. Watching these recycled narratives feels like déjà vu. We know exactly how each story will unfold. The suspense is gone. Instead of a fresh angle, many cast members seem to simply be playing a character version of themselves, caught in an endless loop of predictable heartbreak. 2. The casting has become a nostalgia trap. Casting former stars is a hit or miss gamble. At first, it seemed fun to check in on old cast members, but now it reads like an attempt to keep the franchise afloat by using fan recognition instead of compelling stories. Often, the returnees weren't even interesting the first time. Now, with years of public attention, inflated egos, and social media makeovers, many of them seem less authentic than ever. The raw emotional energy that made them household names has faded. What remains are caricatures of past notoriety trying to stretch their relevance. There's no longer a sense that these people are just living life. It feels like they're performing for a storyline they hope will earn them another season. 3. Manufactured drama is replacing real emotion. Of course, reality TV often walks a fine line between truth and fiction. But the single life often feels more scripted than spontaneous. Conversations look rehearsed, conflicts feel engineered. You can sense the producers trying to force sparks where none exist. Dates are set up like contrived sitcom scenarios: bowling alleys, salsa classes, wine tastings. And while those could be entertaining, the emotional stakes just aren't there. Instead of genuine connection, we're watching people clock in and out of awkward filming obligations. Even the interviews feel drained of sincerity, as if everyone is delivering lines practiced in their car mirror. That old vulnerability where a foreign romance could collapse under cultural strain, language barriers, and highly personal decisions has been replaced with safe, milquetoast TV. For the audience has moved on. The single life draws attention, but not the enthusiastic kind. Discussions online often skew negative, expressing exhaustion rather than excitement. Viewers say the same thing: we're bored. Hardcore fans who once devoured every spin-off now pick and choose. Many have admitted they're burnt out. When the response is lukewarm at best, that's a sign the content isn't serving its purpose anymore. Even the more niche spin-offs, like Before the 90 Days or The Other Way, hold stronger emotional tension. They still offer adventure, cultural challenges, and truly unpredictable relationships. Compared to them, The Single Life feels like leftovers reheated for the fourth time. 5. No real resolution. The core of The Single Life is watching cast members find new relationships. But few do. And even when they do, there's little follow-through. Nothing happens. We don't get weddings, proposals, or breakup explanations. By the next season, cast members are either alone again or repeating the same patterns. Stories vanish or collapse off camera. It's a show without an anchor, no destination, no emotional payoff. Even the most chaotic seasons of 90 Day Fiancé give viewers closure. The Single Life just cycles endlessly. Without progress, there's no real investment. 6. It dilutes what made the franchise special. At its core, 90 Day Fiancé has always been about the central K1 journey: high stakes, immigration challenges, cultures colliding, love tested in ways that go beyond typical dating. That original foundation is what made the show an international sensation. Every time a new spin-off veers too far from those core tensions, the brand weakens. And The Single Life doesn't just veer, it abandons them entirely. Instead of building on what worked, this show tries to become something else: a basic dating series with familiar faces. But there are dozens of dating shows on TV. What gave 90 Day Fiancé its spark was its uniqueness. This spin-off wipes that away. 7. The franchise needs space to reset. Too much content can kill even the strongest franchise. There are currently more 90-day offshoots than anyone can logically keep up with. Taking a step back and letting some of them rest would actually help. Canceling The Single Life would send a message that not every concept needs indefinite renewal. It would give the franchise space to rebuild its reputation, prioritize meaningful stories, and find a more selective, intentional rhythm. A franchise this big needs pruning. And this spin-off is ripe for the cutting. 8. There are better ways to follow former cast members. Fans don't necessarily want old cast members gone forever, they just want their stories handled differently. Occasional updates through specials, reunions, or feature episodes would be a more effective way to check in without stretching thin storylines across an entire season. Imagine a yearly documentary-style update, Where Are They Now? That would be more rewarding and honest than pretending they're suddenly leading compelling dating lives. Conclusion: pull the plug. 90 Day Fiancé, The Single Life once had promise, but that time has passed. With too many stale narratives, forced storylines, lukewarm audience response, and minimal emotional stakes, it no longer earns its place in the enormous TLC lineup. This isn't about hating the cast or losing interest in the franchise. It's about recognizing that not every idea needs infinite renewal. Some shows do their job, have their moment, and then bow out gracefully. The Single Life has reached that point. Canceling it wouldn't be a loss, it would be a mercy. And it might just be the reset fans, cast, and producers need to make the 90-day world exciting again.